Hello everyone from Ukraine, you're watching Channel 24. My name is Andriy Drozda, and today we will have a brief and detailed overview of what is happening on Ukrainian front lines on the east of the country and on the south near Kherson, where the process of liberating of Kherson right bank of Dnipro River continues and maintains, and the Ukrainians are advancing there very fast. So let's take a look on the map. We have November 11th today, it's a Friday, and we will start our overview from the east of the country, near Svatovo and Kremina, as we usually do. So there was some news about Ukrainian advance near Svatovo and liberating of some villages, but it's still unofficial. And we can see that Russians didn't achieve any progress, any advance from yesterday's situation. All the front lines are stable, and there are no any changes. We can see any changes on the map here. The road from Svatovo to Kremina is still under Russian control, but Ukrainian attempt to take fire control on some sections of this road near Karmazinivka and a little bit to the south here near Chervono, Popivka, Zhitlivka, and so on. Russians were trying to counteroffense in Makiyivka and Novodyane, but they were stopped this week earlier and have no advance since then. Let's go a little bit to the south to Bilohorivka, Lysychansk area. Russians continue to attack this village from the north, but have no advance and no success for weeks, actually. Near Bakhmut and Soledar, there is a most problematic section of the front for Ukrainians, and Russians keep attacking each and every day. There are dozens of directions which Russians use to attack Bakhmut, Soledar, and all the towns and villages nearby. Situation is very hard for Ukrainians, but Ukrainian forces, they keep their defense for more than 3 months in Bakhmut, actually, and Russians are stopped on the eastern outskirts of Bakhmut. Some Wagnerites mercenaries are involved in attacks here from Russian side. A lot of artillery. The Bakhmut town is shelled fiercely and hardly. And the most of the town, the big areas, residential areas of the town are destroyed and suffered each and every day from the artillery shelling, and this process continues. So over the past day, Ukrainian units of Ukrainian Defense Forces have repelled attack by occupiers in the areas of the settlements of the villages in this section of the front, exactly near Novoselivsky, near actually Vesele, Soledar, Bakhmut, Andriivka, Krasnogorivka, Opetne. All the villages here is actually, we can see the directions, or actually we can see the directions of Russian attacks on to the west, from the eastern direction to the west, but they are not advancing, and all their attacks have no success. Ukrainian defense stays strong here. So let's go to the Vuhledar, to the south. Russians were attempting to attack Pavlivka. There were some new attacks yesterday from Yehorivka, from the southern village to the north to Pavlivka, and Russian Marines Brigade was involved, the 155th Brigade, and they weren't successful, as we can see. We can just turn back time on our map to yesterday's situation, and no changes on the map. We can see it clearly. So situation on the east is pretty hard for Ukrainians, but still under control. It is a controlled situation, and everything goes well for the Ukrainian defense, but the price for this are, of course, very high. Every day, a lot of Ukrainian soldiers is killed in action near Bakhmut, near Vuhledar, and so on. That's the price for our defense of the eastern part of front. Situation is much more optimistic near Kherson. We have some big news about Kherson. During the last day, the most of the west bank of Dnipro was liberated from Russian occupiers. The Russians are withdrawing their units in the very fast pace, actually. So it took only one day to liberate a huge territories of the west bank of Kherson region and part of Mykolaiv region near Snehorivka. We can just see how it happened. So it was a situation in the afternoon of yesterday's data, and right now we have only this small, tiny strip of the land on the western bank of the west bank of Dnipro, still controlled by Russians. But, you know, till the end of the day, the situation can be changed in favor of Ukrainians. We can measure some distance, how much land Russians are control for the moment, at the moment. So here in Kherson to Chornobayevka, it is only 6 kilometers. Of course, all this territory can be shelled by Ukrainian artillery, and Russians don't feel safe there. Actually, the Russian Ministry of Defense reported today about their withdrawing of their forces from Kherson, and they say that not a single piece of military equipment and weapons was left on the right bank. Of course, they are lying. There was a lot of trophies captured, taken by Ukrainian forces, and we can see all these tanks, armored vehicles, Grad artillery and other units that are now under Ukrainian control. All Russian servicemen, according to their Ministry of Defense, all Russian servicemen crossed to the left bank of Dnieper. It is also a lie. We can see a lot of prisoners of war taken by Ukrainians. We can see a lot of dead bodies. Some of Russians military men were killed this night while attempting to cross the Dnipro, and they were shelled by HIMARSs and other artillery units from Ukrainian side. But Russian Ministry of Defense just shares those lies with no blink of an eye, and they say that there was no loss of personnel, weapons, military equipment and material of the Russian group of troops. Complete lie, complete fake. We can see the video of Russian soldiers crossing by feet Dnipro near Antonovsky Bridge. This bridge was destroyed this night. It was blown up by Russians, but right now we can see that they are just marching on this temporary ferry near the Antonovsky Bridge. They have no heavy armored vehicles with them, just walking with their, machine guns and nothing more. So the situation is very, very successful and optimistic for Ukrainians. We can assume that till the end of the day, till tomorrow, the whole territory on the right bank of Dnipro River will be liberated from Russians, and all their units will just try to take their new positions on the left bank, and this campaign will continue in a very different mode. Actually, Russians will try to shell Kherson from the left bank of Dnipro with their artillery and destroy the city. But we should wait and make no predictions right now. Actually, this operation of taking control of the Kherson by Ukrainians can continue for some time, for a few days or even a week. It will take to control the city officially, actually. So that was the old news from the Kherson. If you liked our video, if you find our video useful, please share it, please write a comment below, and support us with a like. Now, I hope to see you soon on Monday. We do our overviews daily from Monday to Friday, so we will wait for a new episode, for a new dispatch of our overview of Ukrainian front lines and battlefields. See you soon.